We OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Yeah. Experts on reload. Yeah. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock. Ayy. Rooms is coming. Everybody on a knot. Ayy. It's a nuisance. Ordinal Revolution. Ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it start? Nobody knows. It's a revolution. Ayy, Bitcoin is the one, no substitution. Ayy, with Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live for another Ordinal Hour, and it's going to be a great one. But, guys, so what is happening right now is very, I think, forced, right? So obviously we have the Mt. Gox things happening, and actually it's finally this is actually a good thing to get this finally out there and just done with it. The repayments are happening as we speak. But how funny is it that Germany comes in the same few days and they kind of they're dropping 10,000 Bitcoin at a time? This is all planned. This is exactly what they wanted. They're trying to steal your Bitcoin. Governments are not your friends. They hate you. They want to steal your Bitcoin, and that is happening right now. And if you're selling right now in a year of the halving, a year in a presidential election for the U.S., it's just the beginning. And the money hasn't really came in yet because you don't know who the Democratic nominee is yet. Right. So that's all going to come. September, August, October, November are going to be absolutely insane for crypto and Bitcoin. And next year is going to be the same. We're actually going to have real innovation coming next year. And it's going to start here. It's going to start in Bitcoin. It's going to start in Ordinals. And you need to be prepared for that. And that's what the show is about. We're going to get you guys prepared for the next boom that's going to happen. It's going to happen in Bitcoin. It's going to happen on layer 1 Bitcoin and Bitcoin sidechains. And we're excited for that. And I just want you guys to not be scared right now. This is the time to just be watching and looking and observing and kind of seeing what everything is happening. And you can see, I mean, the fear and greed is at 29. I mean, this is good. Going sideways for that long as we did, 145 days. I wanted something to happen, right? Anything to happen. And for us to just drop in here, I mean, this is amazing. And I'm done trying to call the bottom because I'm terrible at it. That's why I don't trade. A lot of people out there are a lot better traders than I am. But without further ado, let's get this thing started and bring in my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
What's going on, man? So I kind of gave my opinion on it, and I'll let you kind of speak your mind.
Yeah, beat down from the feet down. That's what we've been. That's what we've been experiencing, But we'll get through it. I think the biggest thing that you said is like right now is not the time to quit. Right now is not the time to lose hope. And I don't think majority of our audience that have been sticking with us this long are like in that mindset, or maybe they thought about it, but they realized like where the end goal is. So I'm not too worried about that. Obviously, some newer people to the space, this could be scary, but just know that this is normal. If you look at every other cycle, I mean, it retraces 30% from that kind of rise up previous to the really big leg up into the bull run. So this retracement of 30%, this is normal from previous cycles. The thing that threw us off this cycle is the ETFs. It's easy to point that out, and it really did throw off this kind of price action. But hey, it came a little bit later than I expected. So I thought maybe we could skip over the 30% retracement, but looks like it's trying to get there, and maybe we don't get the full 30%. Maybe we get like this 25% that we're at right now. We'll see.
Yeah. I think whatever this is, whatever this down period is, whatever they're doing to kind of push us down to where we're at right now, can only last so long. They can only push so hard because there's just too many of us. There's just too many people that are just smart enough to kind of ignore their FUD. I was listening to a stock show this morning, and they were saying how Mt. Gox is liquidating the Bitcoin. Like, they just don't even understand what is going on, right? They don't understand that it's repayments. It's not, no one's liquidating the Bitcoin. Yes, some people that get the repayments might be liquidating the Bitcoin, but it's not a Bitcoin liquidation period. They're saying this is like considered like kind of what happened with with the FTX. Like, this happened in 2013. It's just funny where they take little things and they kind of use it in a way to cause FUD. Right. And this is one of the things for that. And it's just annoying. But at the same time, being on this side of it and kind of seeing it, it's really makes you laugh.
Yeah. I mean, look, what's happening this month? There's a Ethereum ETF. Yeah. We don't know. Yep. They're projecting maybe middle of the month, towards the end of the month, maybe. Who knows exactly what day GG decides that he's happy. But who's going to want those prices as low as possible, right? Yeah. These big institutional players. So maybe they're just getting their wish here, bringing down the ETH price, bringing down Bitcoin's price, everything to really just fully jump in once they're ready.
Yep. So over the last 24 hours, we had 639 million leveraged crypto positions liquidated. Pretty crazy, but that's the game they play, right? I mean, when you're using leverage, you're borrowing against your position, and potentially if it goes too low, they take everything, right? So, but these same traders are the same guys who make money this entire from like February to March, right? Where it was up only. So I mean, that stuff happens. We dropped $6,000 in a few hours last night, right? It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it seems like it's trying to kind of knock on that door to bounce back right now, actually, which is looking pretty good. But yeah. I mean, isn't it funny when we were at like 69, 70? Yeah. What were we hearing in the headlines in the timeline? Oh, 72,000 is tons of liquidation for these shorts. Yep. That's all we got to do is get to 72,000, 72.4, or whatever that number was. And then guess what? What does that make the bulls feel like? Especially the leverage traders, right? Oh, we're right there. We're right there. Which they're gonna clean that out because they just want to grab all that. I think it was like a couple $1 billion worth of liquidation, or $1 billion or something crazy. But what makes more sense for the market makers though? Putting those headlines out, getting the bulls bullish, and then saying, nah, because we want to go get the longs at lower prices because we might not see these lower prices again once we leave this, this month of July. Let's go get what we can down there. Then when we're not talking about 72,000 liquidation of shorts anymore, we're going to be talking about lower to get more bulls, more longs, but distract them that way. And then we're going to go get the 72 because we know that now we're on our journey up.
Yep, 100%, dude. I agree. So next week is huge for economic data. Next Thursday is a CPI. Next Friday is a PPI. Next Thursday is also the jobs number. We had a jobs number today, and the unemployment rate unexpectedly, which is good because if they're expecting something, that means it's already priced in. So this happened. They unexpectedly climbed to 4.1. This is the highest since October of 2021. And let me just explain to you what was happening in October of 2021 if you weren't in like finance. We were still technically in a recession. GDP was still down. Jobs were still, just coming back. And then we had these things called vaccine mandates, what was causing people to violently lose their jobs very quickly because they weren't just going with the flow of being injected with, who knows what is in them. So it's one of those things where being compared to that time, I mean, we're talking 2022 has passed, 2023 has passed, now we're in 2024. This is a big deal. And what's this going to cause? This is going to cause them to manipulate the CPI next week, so where it looks like it's close, really, really close to 2. And then what they're going to do is they're going to drop rates at the next meeting. I think it's almost guaranteed at this point, especially with this job number.
Yeah. I mean, we got the job numbers that we wanted, right? But
yeah,
it was weird because I felt like you had a little bit of anxiety from the results. But was it because how intense the job numbers were, or what? Because like this is kind of what you wanted, right?
Yeah, but so what is happening now is, so we learned that the government was adding jobs to the last job report. 70,000 jobs were added into the previous jobs report, and they can't just keep adding jobs. So we're actually getting real data for the first time, which is scary because this is going to so when I'm thinking about this stuff, right? Like I have a job, like I'm very comfortable. We're self-employed and stuff like that, but I'm just worried for the people who are going to be losing their jobs in this time where, there's so many new people entering the country who are going to be wanting jobs at really cheap rates because they just want anything, right? So it's just scary right now. A recession could be something that comes. It's so that's one thing that's bothering me a little bit. But what's going to happen is they're going to drop rates drastically, and what's going to happen is a lot of rich people are going to create jobs. So that's what needs to happen. We need rates to go lower so people can borrow money and create jobs. And that's, the Democrats don't understand that about how the things work. Is the rich create jobs, right? So borrowing money at cheap rates creates jobs, and we need a lot of jobs to come in the next 2 years. Like we need to. There's so many new people in this country, and unless something drastic happens, I mean, I'm a little worried.
Yeah, I think that rates will probably get cut. He doesn't really have a excuse anymore at this point, right? Unless the CPI comes in like super high and heavy. So I feel like that's going to happen. Plus, we have Trump that's looking like he's in the lead here. So that's pro-economic, at least perception of the society, which that's way under valued in terms of how things are. Is like the societal perception of how our economy is, right? Like everybody thinks that we're in a tough economy, is doom and gloom. They're not going to spend. They don't want it. They're just complaining about it all the time. If that flips the mental side, the psychological side, that can get like economic energy going, along with the rate cuts and corporations, borrowing capital and stuff to create more jobs. So yeah, I mean, it should be very interesting how this next 6 months plays out. I can't wait till the next Fed meeting though to see what happens.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like I said, CPI is next Thursday for all you traders out there. Be very careful. Next PPI is Friday. Be careful in that. And the jobs number is also next Thursday. Next Thursday's jobs number is going to be really big, going off of what happened today. If it rises to 4.2 or 4.3, the Fed could do an emergency meeting and cut rates. That they've done that in 2020. They've done that in 2019 as well. So we'll see if that happens again. But we're going to jump here to something Adam Back says. He said, reminder, zoom out. Prior bull runs have had a half a dozen 30% drawdowns too. We are at a 26%, 27% earlier. So he's basically saying this is as normal as it gets. From somebody who's been in Bitcoin since before Bitcoin was even invented. I mean, he had hash cash, he had a whole bunch of other things. He's very familiar with how this stuff works, and he's been in every single crypto bull cycle. I mean, I think this guy is Satoshi. I think he's one of the 3 people. I think Satoshi is 3 people, and I think Adam Back is one of them. So for him to kind of come out and say this is just another reminder that like this is normal, completely normal.
Yeah, I just think that it's easy to say for someone like him he's probably sitting pretty nice himself, right? Regardless of
a couple 100,000 Bitcoin,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so, But whenever you get newer people that on board, I think this is like the scary period, right? But the mass amount, like the large amount of newer noobs haven't really came over yet anyways. So it's people that know a little something about something that are here at this point, in my opinion. But yeah, hitting 72,000 twice, and then one of those was all time high at 74, almost 75. I think that's what really messed some people that their perception up a bit. Even the ones that have been here is because like we haven't seen that. We haven't beat an all time high prior to the halving, right? So it should be very interesting how the rest of this year plays out, because we know at the end of this year it should be, unless there's something broken with this cycle, we should be sitting pretty nice with Bitcoin's price action.
Yeah, and speaking of cycles, Bob Lucas, if you guys don't know, he is the 4-year cycle guru, right? He buys every bottom and sells every top. I mean, he puts out videos stating what he did and everything. He puts out a video every 3 months. And he says, I'll be making my first new buy, crypto buy. So he bought around 16, 17,000. And today now, because this was posted tomorrow, I mean, yesterday, so he's going to be buying today. And I think that is saying a lot here when you have someone like him putting new money in, and the last time he put new money in was the bottom.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this goes to show like even people that are super, super talented can get it wrong sometimes, because I think he called the last time we touched 56 that we'd never get back to that level. And we obviously did. I think we touched down at 53.8 yesterday. So yeah, I'm not going to say that could be the bottom, because every time I say that, it doesn't end up being true. So, but 53.8 is pretty low, Yeah. With that being said, he's buying now, and he does make those statements of like, if it gets here, then I'll buy. If it gets here, then I'll buy. And I think it's pretty bullish for him. Well, I think like it's a statement of like, okay, these are cheap prices. You know what I mean? And I think we were all already thinking that way. You and I were talking about that. Like, let's go ahead and unload all of our bullets for our challenge that we're doing, because I mean, even if it goes a bit lower, like, do you really care that much? You know what I mean? Like, these are good prices. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So for specific assets.
100%. And like Bob, it's the first time Bob's putting his money where his mouth is. It too. Like last time he didn't say he was buying at 58. He didn't say he was buying at 59, but he's saying he's buying at 54, 55 here. So I don't know if he's going to make his purchases. If he might not have stayed as low, but I mean, if he's buying, I'm confident that this is the local bottom at least. Moving on here, Rand Nooner says we are at or near the bottom. I mean, it's another. He's been correct on a lot of things. He called the bottom at 15.9. One of the few people that got it right. And Crypto Banter gets a lot of hate and a lot of stuff because they are very pumpy. You know what I mean? They do try to pump bags and stuff like that. And they were one of the channels that pumped that Bitcoin Satoshi, whatever that was. Yeah, that Bitcoin EVM, that never really happened, but they are very pumpy and people don't like them for that. But he's pretty accurate when it comes to Bitcoin, and he says we're at or near the bottom here. So
I mean, calling a 15.9 bottom, is it that great? Like at that point, I remember during that period, man.
Yeah,
like,
it was easy.
It got to like 15.9 is a good call, but like I think it got lower than that. I think didn't touch like 14 or something?
No, 15,800 I think was the absolute low. I mean, he was right there, and everyone, including Capo, was saying 11,000, 10, 12,000. You had that guy with the weird hair. What's his name? That freaking TA analyst. I can't remember his name, but he was out there saying 1250K. No, you remember we make fun of him all the time. He has that weird hair now. He's like a man bun. I can't remember.
Yeah. I thought his name was Gavin something. Oh, I know
not Gavin. Yeah, but anyway. All right. Our guy Block had a good comment. He said, "This is all our fault for being bullish after 9 months of upside. They really thought we could go from 25K to 74K with no dip below 60, just sideways straight to 100. We did this to ourselves." And I after reading this, I was like, "God damn, like he's right, like 100%. Like we couldn't expect to go from really 15 to 74 without any crazy dip without, and this is a pretty big dip. We're down about 28% now. This is kind of needed, and he's 100% right. Like, we needed this pullback to gain strength.
Yep, I agree. You can't just have, straight up only, right? And most of May was a damn good trading month if you're bullish, right? Yeah. And April, coming out of April was a little tough. So it was like May was good, the first week of June was good, and then all of a sudden it's like, and so this is something I think was more of like, hey, slap in the face, reset yourself, reset your mentality, and then just really look at what you have in your portfolio and determine what are your strongest convictions. Why are they there? Why are you convicted in those projects or assets so much? And that's what I'm trying to go through right now.
Yeah, good call. So Mark Karpellis, he owned the Mt. Gox exchange. So Jed McCaleb created Mt. Gox exchange. Not many people know that Mt. Gox stands for Magic the Trading Card. That was Jed McCaleb's site when he used to buy and sell Magic the Gathering cards, and then he just used that to when Bitcoin came out in 2011, he created Mt. Gox, and then he sold it to Mark Karpellis. Mark Karpellis is known as the cat guy. That's all in that book.
The cat guy,
because he had like all these cats. Like, so when Bitcoin Jesus, they call him, went to Japan to help him with a problem, he said there was cats everywhere. There was all over the Mt. Gox offices. That's
hilarious.
And so he was the cat guy, and he used to post pictures of his cat and stuff all the time. So the cat guy, Mark Karpellis, he says customers have finally started receiving Bitcoins after over 10 years, and I wasn't sure anymore if it would finally happen. Oh, but no, I'm sorry, I wasn't sure anymore if it finally happened. So that's his tweet there. So this is pretty big. That it's over now. It can never be against us in the future ever again. I feel like this is nice little band-aid ripping off. This is a good thing.
Yeah, and I don't think we're gonna see it like affect the price like Germany's government did, right? Because this is spread out amongst like how many ever users, and a lot of them are OG Bitcoiners. So they already know what's coming. So, for them, it's like stupid for them to sell. Now, they probably did get them pretty cheap. I don't know how the distribution and value and all that stuff was done, but I don't think that they're gonna all, get together and say, hey, let's all sell together for the people that want to sell. So I don't think we see it. So I agree with you. I think this story kind of goes away, goes back on the bookshelf, and never to be really, revisited again.
Yeah.
Other than the historical part of it, that's it.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this in 2020 about these coins going to get released, and now we're 4 years later, and it happens right at a time when everyone was really bullish, which is again, it just seems like full on, like
strategic.
So, very strategic, 100%. Well, one thing, so we know too that Germany is dumping at the same time as that's happening. So, but the German Parliament member Jonah Quarter says governments, Jonah, right? Yeah, Jonah Quarter says government selling Bitcoin is not sensible. Urges holding BTC as a strategic reserve currency. So someone, at least in their parliament, is actually got their head on straight, right? And I think we're seeing this more and more and more. We're seeing it here in the U.S. where there's a lot of Republicans who have their head on straight about Bitcoin, and now you can finally, for the first time, I see at least in Germany, she's saying we're making a huge mistake here, which makes me just feel bullish that we have people all over the world in really good, seats that could have seats of control that are actually coming out and urging their government not to sell this Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's too late, right? They already been selling off, and
they've only sold 40,000 of the lot, so it's not all.
Was it 40,000? I thought they sold.
Yeah, they're doing 10,000 at a time. It was 10, 10, and 10.
Okay, well that's good to know that they sold that much, because I think they have 50,000 total, right, or something like that, and so they have a little bit left. But yeah, I didn't get it, but I think that Germany is a part of the G7, and like that whole WEF movement and energy, and so they probably just it's them being not educated enough on it. I mean, obviously they know, they're not stupid, but maybe they have another plan for it. I don't know. Maybe they just don't believe in Bitcoin, as a government, which is so weird because there's so many like maxis from Germany.
Yeah. Yep. All right, it's that time of the show here, guys. I know we spent a lot of time on Bitcoin because that's the news right now. So, but we're going to jump into the Bitcoin price action and kind of give you guys what is happening with Yagobi sees here.
Yep, we'll see what is going on. But before that, guys, if you're on the YouTube side, please smash that like and subscribe. If you're not subscribed to our channel, consider joining the membership. We go over a lot of member videos of what we're doing and stuff like that. On the
and we're doing one
Twitter
today.
side, yeah, we're gonna do one today. On the Twitter side, please share this space for us so we can educate as many people as possible. We got 176 people on here on a bloody Friday, but we appreciate each and every one of you guys. Okay, so the 3 time frames, I'm going to go through this pretty quick because we all know what's happening here, or at least for the most part. We had just a very bloody past couple of days into the night, into the morning, with a little bit of bounce back today. Like I said, we got all the way down to 53, 380, 391, which is very, very low considering what we've been experiencing the past couple months. But looks like we want to, a little bit of a bounce back, much needed here. We're back to 56,398 on the 1 hour. So the next, I would say, maybe 8 hours, we could see some more price action up. It looks like it wants to hang out up here. Once we got to 56,300, we didn't nosedive all the way back. So maybe we see something, jumping back to 57,000 would be great. I think that would be some good momentum heading into the weekend. So we'll see here for the next 8 hours. We'll see how long we can continue this buy pressure here. On the 4 hour chart, which give us more about like what we're looking at for the weekend, we definitely need to close this gap here with the red and blue lines on the MACD. Looks like weakness here on the sell pressure for the MACD. Also been down in these oversold for a while here on the 4 hour chart. So this is a decent looking setup, actually. We could bounce out of here, maybe see a little bit of action this weekend to the upside, maybe just chop. Weekends are typically quiet, kind of like yesterday, for the most part, up until last night. So, I think there's an opportunity here to, bounce out of here, but we'll see what happens this weekend. And then the 12 hour chart, which is going to give us kind of a projection for the next 2 weeks. Same thing, we're down and oversold, but we just got here, right? So how long are we going to hang out? This does not look good right here. This makes me feel like we, might for the next 10 days be kind of selling down or chop here. Hopefully we can just bounce out of this, but this looks like the sell pressure is pretty strong for the 12 hour chart. In terms of pattern recognition, the only thing I really see on the 1 hour chart is a rising wedge downtrend. So that's not great, I know, but it's actually kind of tricky too, because it looks like we could be bouncing out of here. So this green candle on the 1 hour could break out of this pattern though. If it does, then that rising wedge is done. But if we stay within this line here and bounce back down, and then we can see further sell off, which is typically what a rising wedge will end up with that downtrend continuation. So if we bounce out of here, the 1 hour chart gives us some strong buy pressure. We could break this pattern and it could be a little bit more bullish for this Friday. Let's hope for that. But all in all, it's been tough, but keep hanging in there, guys. I promise you this can't last forever. That is a promise I can give you.
Yep. And we're going to jump to Bitcoin. Hold on. Fear and greed here. And I think this is bottomed. I think the Bitcoin fear and greed has bottomed. We're sitting here at 29. You can see the drastic drop. Last month, 75. Last week was a 47. Yesterday was a 44. And then today's a 29. So everyone is very fearful. And in the words of Warren Buffett, when people are fearful, be greedy. When people are greedy, be fearful. So you can kind of use this chart to make the best moves for your personal portfolio. But, if I can't really see us getting the 18 in after the halving, I just can't see a few months after the halving. So, but we'll see.
Yeah, I actually love that score right now, honestly. And I imagine that the market makers and people that are controlling the price right now probably want that to go lower. Just like we were talking before we jumped on the show, the stream was, you really have to convince the groups that lose hope, or we're in a bearish month that the price isn't going to go back up, and then that's whenever they'll liquidate the shorts, right, and then push it up.
Yep.
So 29 is a great number. I think they'll probably be satisfied if we can get closer to 20.
Yeah, I'm hoping we just rise from here. Get back in the 30s. I want to get back in the 30s. I'd feel comfortable with that, especially after Mt. Cox is over. Germany's almost over. It's like, what else can you be fearful about, right? So,
yeah.
All right, guys, it's that time of the show. I know we're a little late with this because we had a lot more Bitcoin news than usual, but we're going to jump right into your comments, and I apologize for the lateness, but let's see who's here today. I'm going to jump in the graveyard real quick, and it was only Tim. He says graveyard shift. So shout out to Tim being in there yesterday, but it's looking like Kimmy Boy. Was Kimmy Boy number one? No. The times are a little off because it says that Mike's World was number one. So shout out to Mike's World. You are number one today. The times, I don't know how Kimmy got in there. I didn't see that earlier.
Congrats.
Because that was from
PM.
Yeah, but that was from Twitter.
Yeah. So I guess the day before it records Twitter. But shout out to Kimmy. We haven't seen him in the chat in a very, very long time. We need to
been a while,
connect with. Yeah, we need to connect with you, Kimmy, and jump on a call just to get caught up.
I think Kimmy's going to be coming on Tap Tuesday. He works for Foxy now, so I think he'll be one of the guys, if not maybe the main guy. But we'll see if they have time to join us. But in that number 2 spot, we have our boy Yasher. Man, he says hello, lovely people. God bless you all. Shout out Yasher, guys. You don't know he's our moderator. He helps us out so much. With everything, we have a Telegram group that he puts all the news in there for us, so just makes our job so much easier. And I just always want to shout him out for that because we really appreciate it. He says, no matter how much BTC the German government wants to sell, and no matter that Mt. Gox suddenly decided to repay all the BTC owes to the customer, we are known as hodlers. God damn it! And I hear you. I hear you. Yazir is fed up right now. Mr. Sheedy goes, I already hit the like button.
That's a given, Mr. Sheedy. That's
you hit the like button.
Yeah, I gotta hit the like button. I need to hit the like button.
And then we got PJ and Z. Ooh, the graveyard buying time. Let's see. Lackey Lukey is here. Joko is here. Shout out to Joko. He says, GM guys. Dream Baked is here. Shout out to you. Mighty Sonu is here, and then our guy Cache Cats always bringing the coffee and the donuts and the moon and the rocket chips. But he says, GM, brethren, hope everyone hodling strong through the chop. Yes, sir. We're all just trying to be like you, Cash. Let's see. LSR is here. Shout out to you. Ant-Man is here. Patty Pooh is here. The Bitcoin machine himself. Tim Baker says positivity. Shout out to you. Another one of our mods. We appreciate you, my friend. And then my guy, no. He says, GM, beautiful DGens. Sixes is here. Shout out to you. Carlos CLS is here. Patrick Nand is here. And we have Jesus is here. Mental Wealth is here. Jay Clark, he says, we are still in a recession. Have you seen inflation? Dead up, gross. Yeah, but a recession is 2 negative GDP scores in a row. And the last GDP score was super high. Oh, hold up here. We got our boy Danny Boy with a giant monstrous said for the culture, $20. Thank you so much, Danny. With the jump in here. We appreciate you. Let's see, let me make sure I didn't miss anyone. We got Jake. I think I said Jake Clark, and then we got Mental Wealth. Say you. I might have said you already, but I'll say you again. John is here. He says, any Verothium Dex news? Am I starting to get bearish on them? You got to remember, John, like putting anything out right now is stupid, right? Why would you put out something and it not being used and then stuff like that? So you have to really be strategic with your launches. I know you really want to play with it. You really want to stake. I get it. But we're advising all of our partners right now to really take our time. And like the August is going to be a really good month. And you know, you don't want to stake your stuff and then everything just prices just keep dropping. So we definitely want to be strategic with the way everything launches, and we're obviously an advisor on them, so we're advising everyone really to kind of just hang out strong. Just make sure your product is absolutely perfect before launch.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at everybody, you can look at Tap too. I mean, the marketplace was supposed to be launched at the end of June, but it made no sense for them to do that.
Yeah,
along with their token as well. So
100%. Satoshi is here. Rick G is here. He says, "Long live the BRC20." Yes,
there it is.
He didn't say it. He didn't say it yesterday.
Dude, I feel like Rick G. The name Rick G. reminds me of like a radio personality or something.
It does. Yeah, I agree.
Rick G's top 40.
Like John Clark does 42K and lower isn't out of the curve. Maybe. Admir is here. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody. Pelpa, Mark Impedo is here. He's at 40K. Bitcoin incoming, lies and slander, sir. I'm going to send you a lawsuit. Pelpa is here. It says, Arsic tweeted, "We must really be in for a rough time." Yeah, I see. That.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. I was shocked too when I saw that. But
like, we haven't sold anything, just so you guys know.
Yeah. I will say this though. Like if you saw the Arsic tweet right below the comment that Arsic made was like last tweet or whatever.
Yeah.
And if you pay attention to projects that do that,
BitGuide was one of the first to do that. Yep.
And Node Monks definitely started doing that too.
And, yep.
So just something that you got to start like catching these things, right? Like notice these things.
Let's see. Tarnished is here. I think it's your first time here. Thank you so much for coming in. It's juicy prices.
Shoot! Did they the freaking Billy Cats dropped, huh? Because he has a Billy Cat.
Are they now on Magic Eden?
I don't know. Maybe he just.
Dude, everyone's complaining that Ordibots. We have that later topic, but Ordibots dropped the ball. It got the prices that as it went further, it got up to $25 for fees.
Because of fees
on a free mint.
But why though?
It's just because I think they got greedy. I don't know, but yeah. Let's see. We got Crypto Hot News is here. I think that. Oh, eBuck's in the building. Shout out to you, my friend.
Hey.
Welcome back. This guy only comes when it's bearish. No, I'm joking. Let's see. Reziak is here. He says, "Yo, my message gone." Yeah. So sometimes I don't see it when it started. And yesterday I had a busy night, so YouTube does delete the messages, and I try to grab them for the graveyard, but sometimes I just can't get someone time. But yeah, that's why it was going to comment it in this AM. You don't see it now. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. That's a YouTube thing. That's nothing that we do. I wouldn't, you know what I mean? So it's not a thing that we do. It's something that YouTube does. And that is your roll call for today, man. We appreciate every single person that makes the roll call. And that's what I do. Someone hit me up. It's like, yo, I watch the show all the time. And I'm like, yeah, but have you made roll call? That's the real
that matters.
You can say you watch the show, but until you make roll call, you don't really watch the show.
Yep.
All right. Kind of jump to her. Did we get a comment at the end there? Just Reziak. Yeah, sorry, Reziak. I got you. All good. Yeah, sorry, man. It's not something we do. I can only go what YouTube shows us. So we are a prisoner to YouTube. Okay, so we got some updates from Bank Nakamoto. Some pretty good stuff there. The price popped on it though. So this is the updates to Bank of Nakamoto. Allocations of 6.25% to the foundation, which will vest at the same schedule as season 1 incentives. Banked pre-mine will move to a multi-sig within the next 24 hours, working with Asigio. I guess that's a provider of third party. For transparent time lock treasury management for vesting. So they're kind of using that time lock to kind of lock this pre-mine. That's one thing we can do over here that's pretty cool. Yeah, we don't have smart contracts, but we have block height locking. And you can actually lock some of that. So they are going to be locking that for hopefully a long time. I wouldn't mind a year. But that's one thing really cool in Bitcoin's core code that we can do here.
Yeah. I mean, they're following up with a lot of these things, right? So it's kind of like, okay, now we've passed this like certain level of being comfortable enough to where they haven't disappeared. Right? I think that's always the first step. And now they're getting deeper into this, just trying to build the trust, because that's the biggest thing. You got to build trust. You got to have liquidity for a stable token to work. So these are good steps. These are good moves for them. Let's see how they handle these bearish times, because that's going to be the first test, in my opinion. Or are they still as active? Because they need to be. A stable token project on Bitcoin's native layer needs to be as active, if not more active, during a slower period than any other project. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah. And yesterday they did depeg again. They got down to 91 cents for their NUSD, but they did open up the transfer for the first time. So that was the issue, was you couldn't transfer the NUSD for Athena dollar anymore. So, but it was never open, and it opened yesterday. So now you can buy them, technically own the market, and convert them to EUSD, Athena, the Athena dollar. So now, for the first time, if you do see at 91 cents, you can grab as many as you possibly can.
The crap out of
and
that.
And then just send them back to EUSD, and then boom, you made 9 cents on every dollar. So, and you saw the price immediately repeg after that happened. So that was really amazing from Bank. They're slowly opening up everything. They just want to make sure everything's right. I'm starting to believe in Jack Lou. I'm starting to believe in this project. I'm really hoping for another dip, because I missed the previous one, but I would love to get this under 10 sats. Right now it's hanging out just above, and I'm going to be looking for that. I'm going to be entering this for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he worked for Circle, right? So he knows the stable token, industry, as well as like OKX. He worked with them. So I think he's really experienced in that. But that's huge. That's huge, because, like you said, that example, that's a 9% arbitrage. So you got, like, if you have, I don't know, $50,000, $100,000, you convert that in over to EUSD, you make $9,000 off of that, just like that. So
100%. Our guy Jake.Sats had a really good thing here. He said, this cycle is the first cycle that I've participated from the builder side of things, and honestly, quite welcome to the chop/down market. Gives teams much needed breather and some mental space. And I didn't really think about this until I read that, and I'm glad he posted this, because as a builder, let's just say like Track and Benny and stuff like that, they want to launch, but this is giving them more time. This is giving them more preparation. This is giving them more breathing room. And I, from like, just like John said with Verothium mines, like, let's go. But think about the let's just make sure everything is perfect before we go with these launches. And I love that.
Yeah, and they were kind of feeling pressure in the months previous, right? Because as we were building up, May was a great month. June's first week was really strong, and so I think there was just a lot of pressure of, okay, you gotta be ready by July. You need to be ready by July, end of June, and then the last 3 weeks of June, that kind of changed the perception a little bit. Say, okay, that was good that they had the pressure from me in early June, because it got a lot of stuff built out. Because as of we know, a lot of these projects are pretty much done, but they're just like, it's just like, making sure you cross all the T's, dot the I's type of situation, and the market conditions give them a little bit more leeway. I know that sucks. A lot of people say, there's a group of people that think, market conditions shouldn't matter with product launch. But I mean, if you're being realistic and logical, it does matter, because they want to time things, 100%. I mean, it is what it is with that.
Block made the show twice here. He said, Pizza is running the day after Unisat secured a Binance funding in a completely red market. So Pizza was one of the few that was up almost 25% on the day that Bitcoin was bleeding. All day, people were buying Pizza yesterday. The volume was super high, and it continued this morning. It got to about $4 and almost $5, right? Maybe a little over $5, and then kind of consolidated around $4.70.
I didn't see it at $5, but I saw it at like 490, so right there. Also 495. Oh, it did. Yeah, so for about 495 is where I think they sold at the highest. But they're hanging out at like 480 right now. That was big news, but I felt like it was like they didn't mention Pizza not once in that post, right? But what happened as soon as they released that tweet, everybody that just shows like how many holders of pizza there are and how many people that like want pizza to succeed. Because all I saw was pizza on the timeline. I even retweeted it and said, I'm seeing pizza. Like, it does seem like it's inevitable that it's going to be the next BRC20 that does get listed on Binance. That relationship is, I think, a lot bigger than people think. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not. But they posted about it. The only Bitcoin fungible token standard tokens on Binance's centralized exchange are BRC20s. Now, there wasn't really any other, Runes wasn't out then and other stuff wasn't as big. So, but I can't help but think that relationship that they have with Binance is kind of getting their feet into the door there. And is that manipulation? I don't know. I don't care really because it's not anything that I have control over, but it just seems like they have an edge because of that.
Yeah, it looks like pizza is the new Sats too. We talked to somebody who had giant Sats bags, and they said they converted the Sats to pizza, and they just think pizza is going to be like considered the top meme on Unisat, and I agree with that. I think pizza will be the top meme. It just has that Bitcoin is pizza. At the end of the day, the first sale is pizza. It's just always been Bitcoin Pizza Day and stuff like that. So I think it's perfect. It's a perfect meme for Bitcoin. So yeah, so this is taking over Sats for sure, and I think it continues that. And I don't think Sats stays as the token for fees. I think it eventually goes to every BRC20 because you can really pay fees in anything. I know in Polkadot I can pay fees in any coin I want on a lot of stuff, and I think that happens over here as well.
Yeah, that'd be interesting if they do flip that, because it's Unisat themselves that created the Sats as the fee token for their modular swap, which we'll see how that plays out. But I agree with you on pizza because, like you said, Bitcoin Pizza Day. You look at all these ordinal collections, NFTs, like they all have on the Bitcoin side at least, they have pizzas in their mouth, and there's just like this big connection there. And there's not an official pizza meme token, right? Because there's multiple pizza tokens out there. There's not an official one that like has taken the reins, and I think that getting listed on Binance will solidify that, in my opinion.
That's true.
That's why this could be huge, right? So we'll see what happens if they do get on Binance. I definitely think they will. When is the question?
100%. Yep. Runes coin. We talked about this a little earlier, but we'll kind of hit it on because it's one of our banners here. It says we have never listed any Rune coin and have not cashed out a penny from Bitcoins. I mean, from Rune coin. So, what do you think about this?
I think it's I don't know. I think just trying to be, I guess, have clarity finally, like, and have a message to like the community. I think it's more of a slap in the face because it's like, people have been asking for you guys to come out and say something and talk. What are you building? What are you guys doing? At least some communication. And then this is the first communication. Is like, I don't know what's driving price down, but it ain't us. It's basically what I got from it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And as a whole, if I was a holder, a big bag holder, I'd be pretty annoyed and pissed about that. But that's just me personally.
And the thing is, they can say they're not selling anything, but you got to remember too is like they had the whitelist paper of all the addresses. How easy for them to add some addresses in, you know what I mean? Get these R6, let them thing, and then get this coin and then sell these coins off. So for them to say that they've never listed or anything like that, it's really hard to believe. I think they're getting some type of income from this, especially because they had to pay. OKX to list Rune coin. That's the reason why Dog's not listed, but Rune's coin is because they paid for it. That's what normally happens. You give your coins for free. That exchange sells those coins and makes money on that. So, but your coin gets listed. So it's a win-win for everyone there. And they did that with this. So there's definitely coins there that they're making some money. And it just sucks that I was just so bullish on these guys until Bitcoin put his name. Everyone put Bitcoin's name in the hat there, and I'm curious to see what happens. We got to see something soon. I mean, they got to at least say what they are building, right? I mean, who knows?
Yeah, Yeah, again, it is obviously speculation about him, but man, I was like, man, that has to suck to hear that, like on the Twitter timeline and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But it is like that is just kind of how people feel about it. But I mean, we've had conversation with him. He's a really cool dude.
No, I think he's a great guy. He just
Yeah.
has so many fuck ups at this point that it's really hard to trust something. I mean, I said before, and I said this many times. I said my favorite people are people who have failed once or twice, right? I think that the lessons learned in that are bigger than anything ever. If you were someone who just came out and your first project did amazing, your second project did absolutely amazing, your third project was about to launch, and you were just so confident in it. I feel like that's when the real huge mistakes happen. I feel like guys who have grinded, who've made mistakes here, they can eventually do something amazing. And you got to remember, Amazon wasn't Jeff Bezos' first company. Like, you know what I mean? He had previous stuff like that. Like every great entrepreneur had failing projects or failing companies before their breakout, right? So I think there's a couple of standout. I think Zuckerberg was different because he was a college student. Elon, he had many companies before Zip2. Zip2 became PayPal, and they failed as well. So I'm curious to see if he is a part of this team. I'm curious to see what he can do. I'm not giving this the X. I'm actually invested in this. I've invested it for a while, so I'm holding these coins, and we'll see what happens.
Yep, we shall see.
Moving on here. So this is not for me. This is something from the timeline. I don't know, but I copied this as a tweet. So I don't know how true this is, but if it, I went and checked it yesterday. It was going to cost me between $10 and $20 to get a ability cap mint. It was minting on Ordinal's bot. You can't say something is a free mint when you charge $25 for it, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Here's the thing, right? Like, so there's the project, and then there's the servicer, right? So, the project can say that, but I do think like the project should include, this is how much you're probably going to pay for fees, right? Yeah. Also, on the Ordinals bot side, I mean, people can get upset, but I'll say this: like we've talked to a couple of the people from Ordinals bot, great guys, Rough Star. We worked with them actually as kind of joint on a project. And then their advisor, James, right? And so the Ordinal bot is more of a like typical Web2 business model approach than, like these other Web3 platforms and stuff. And I say that in terms of they are really like, figuring out what does it take in terms of fees and what does it take in terms of, capital outflow and inflow to be able to hit this goal of revenue. And I just think that like they do that more than anybody else from what I've talked to, right? And so I think that's why their prices get a little bit higher. So it's kind of like, that if that's a problem, then I think that the projects need to reconsider, using a different platform. But you can't really be mad at Ordinal's bot for that. You know what I'm saying? Well, so that's just my opinion.
So at $10, $10,000, that's $100,000. Does Ordinal bot need $100,000 to do one launch? That's excessive.
I mean, how many employees do they have? How much
$100,000 for one mint? Let's just say they do 5 minutes a month.
I'm just saying
$500,000.
But just hear me out. How many employees do they have? How much do they rent any space? Do they we know that they have the relationship with Marathon, so they do sometimes they'll acquire full blocks depending on what a project needs. That all those things, those are variables that a business has to take into account. Now 100,000 per mint, how many mints are they doing though? Like what was their last one before this that minted out?
It was that coin. It was the one that we invested in. Search for the dollar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so they did that for their I think it was like a runes testing. Yeah, so I mean, in terms of doing a mint, $100,000 definitely seems excessive. So it was 10,000.
And so I'm getting at the $10 that it was going to charge me to do it. But I heard later in the mint it got more expensive. The fees just kept going up, and someone said it was going to cost them $25. So it's one of those things where at $10 it's $100,000. At $25 it's $250,000.
Yeah.
So I just think that if it's a free mint, that they should. I mean, this is not the market to be doing that, right? Like you will get your money, I promise you.
But then the project founders of the Billy Cat needs to make that decision, not Ordinals bot. Like
that
those terms are, those terms are laid out on the table, and this is what he's saying. Or Yashir says, Yagobi, you're totally right about their approach as a typical Web 2 team. I'm one of their ambassadors, and for sure I need to say good things about them, but they are trying to pump Trio up. Yeah, so Trio's obviously their token, right? And so but just from like I've also seen posts from them talking about like their revenue reporting, like they're not in the red from what I remember. And that's not necessarily like the easiest thing to accomplish. Like, yes, things have gotten better, but we haven't hit that bull market yet, right? So I think what they're trying to do is to like set these prices, which you can have the opinion, and I actually agree that I think it's too high from just a regular user, everyday user perspective. But like from a business perspective, they're trying to hit these milestones and goals is what I'm thinking, right? But yeah, so another follow-up here from Jaime says, it's nice that Yagobi tries to see the other side, but I'm with Shizzy. These services shouldn't be more than $2. Hey, I agree with you in terms of like the user. I mean, that for me, like individually, like spending $25 to mint a Billy Cat, I would pay that. I would probably get like 4 of them, if I could mint 4 of them, $100, because I think that those do well, but I could be wrong on that, right? But if it wasn't a Billy Cat and it was something else, maybe I wouldn't, right? So, but at the end of the day, I think people are talking, and they agree with you on this, is that it doesn't matter what it is. If you're a servicer, then you should charge $2 per mint.
Yeah,
it is what no more than $2 per mint. And I just think that like these businesses have different goals, different standards, and you're just going to see a variation of that. Like for example, like Francis, he doesn't, they charge really cheap for their inscription stuff, right, on Stats Hunters.
But so my point with this was right now we're still in PvP. Everyone here is homegrown Ordinals guys, right? Where no one here is retail, no one here is new. Everyone that's been here has been here at least 3 to 6 months, 8 months, right? So you're robbing the people who are potentially using you and understanding what you are and probably own the Trio token, because that's how you get this, right? So you're robbing your own customers, right? So you don't need to do that right now. I feel like you can do that. Just do that in a market where that it's huge. Everything's blowing up. Prices are going crazy. Take advantage then. Don't take advantage now on the homegrown people who are really making Ordinals what it is. We need these people to be successful, to grow, to kind of bring in new people. So it isn't the time to do this, but there will be a time. It's just not now. And I think I'm pleading with them, guys, if you guys see this, just drop the fees until new people get here, until there's a million Express wallets, a million Unisat wallets. It'll come. I promise you. You don't need to gouge now.
Yeah, so it looks like they listened to you, because Danny Boy says Ordinals bot is refunding the fees. So we'll get further confirmation on that, but appreciate that. He said he's in the Discord.
Expensive though.
He said he's in the Discord. He got 6 Billy Cats. They are sending my refund. I'll let you know how much I get. Paused mint. Hopefully it's less when. What does it say? Less when the start again. Okay, cool. But so they paused the mint. So it didn't mint out?
No one. They said everyone said F you guys. And we're not going to give you $100,000. Like, why? So I love our community. I love that we do that. In Solana, that doesn't happen there. But I love how we are in Ordinals. I love how like we're just like, screw you guys. I don't care who you are. It's so amazing. It's so amazing in Ordinals that we do this stuff. And again, Billy Cat would be an amazing project if it was free. If it was $2, $3, you pay the $2 for the Bitcoin fee, you pay $2 to Ordinals bot. Ordinals bot walks away with 20K for 1 mint. You know what I mean? That's not bad. That's good money.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, definitely, I agree with that. And I guess the gas or the Bitcoin miners fees were a bit high, because Yashir says it wasn't 25, it was 10 for the mint, and then I guess 15 was how much the transaction fees were.
No, it wasn't that high yesterday. Fees, I mean, it might have, but when I was checking, the fees were cheap.
$15 seems pretty high. Transaction fees.
40. Yeah, it's 40 sats per VeVite to get that high.
Yeah.
So that didn't happen. Today is Fluid Friday. We'll get to Raul in a bit, but first here we have huge news. Mexi, this is a tweet from them. They said We're thrilled to announce that Track BTC Kickstarter has concluded, and Track will be listed on MEXC. This was amazing. Congratulations to all Track holders. Another huge exchange, and it just shows you what Track is doing with that track that they're getting from the selling of the validators. So they're using that to get on exchanges. So MEXC, and then you're probably going to see with that when I think it's July 13th. They're going to be getting a lot more Track, and they're going to be using that to get on more exchanges. More exchanges that is listed on, the more people that see it, the more people that not only will it become what Track is, but it'll also be something on Bitcoin, to where instead of investing in Bitcoin, it's kind of leverage play on Bitcoin to get in something like Track. And if Track can do that, then it just becomes its own thing off the exchange and on the exchange, and that just gives it so much leverage. This is huge, man. I'm just so happy for Track holders. I'm one myself, so I'm very happy with this.
Yeah, I hope all the pent up not demand, but pent up I guess price action that we expected, right? From Track comes out of this, and this is a great first sign, in my opinion, because it seems like they're using the Track from the validator purchases, right, to do stuff like this. This is more stuff like this is great. MEXC, they're obviously known for leverage trading, but you use them for like being able to do things like spot or just come in and out, right? So I think this is big. Let's keep getting a little bit bigger names. I think Track was kind of unfairly shunned a little bit by some of these centralized exchanges during when they had that pop off to $10.
Well, it's because no one was giving them free Track. That's why.
Yeah, that, and then also, but now that there's this ecosystem built out, plus a mechanism. So I think like Scree Labs, shout out to them, shout out to Benny for coming up with this mechanism and system of the validators to be able to acquire Track, to be able to give those to the centralized exchanges. This is if this works, genius, man, this will go down as like one of the best strategic moves for a meta protocol ecosystem in our space.
Yeah. Yep. And congratulations to Benny. Benny's an OG, right? Benny, I'm just happy for him to get this project on exchanges. I think MEXC is started, then BitGet will come, and then it just goes down the line of how it normally goes of listings. It'll just kind of catch up the dog, and eventually maybe get on OKX and Binance, which is huge, but we'll see. Just a reminder, you guys. We're doing this new thing. We're gonna be grinding in this little bear market that we're in. That's what we do here at Ordinal Revolution. We not only do we put out a show every single day, we're gonna go longer shows. We're gonna be putting out longer shows and really kind of going after the builders, finding out who's building amazing stuff. So Monday will be a Merlin Monday, and then we're gonna have Tap Tuesday. So we're gonna do our normal hour and a half show, but then we're gonna go another hour and a half, because why the hell not, right? We're really gonna grind this stuff up. So tune in for Monday at 12:30 for Merlin Monday, and tune in for Tuesday at 12:30 for Tap Tuesday. We're going to be grinding this, guys, for you guys, to give you guys all the information to see exactly what's building, and we hope you guys appreciate it, because we're going to be putting in a lot of work, right?
Well, I think the biggest thing here is to bring the builders to you guys to ask questions directly, right? That's the hardest part. Is we obviously built these relationships with a lot of builders in our space. Our network has gotten stronger and stronger each month. And, this is, so take advantage of this, right? Merlin Mondays, ask the Merlin builders, because we're going to have Unicross. We're going to have BitGenie. We're trying to get Surf as well on Tuesday. I know we already have commitments from like Ghosty, I believe, Foxy. So that's your time. Yes, we're going to go through and ask some questions and stuff like that, but that's your time to ask questions directly to them. Because as you guys know, we utilize the chat as much as possible. So take advantage of it, because it's you're not going to have those opportunities all the time.
100%. And today, guys, we have basically that already. So we have our guy. Sorry, hit that again. So today's Fluid Friday. Fluid is, I think, in my eyes, one of the leading dApps over here.
Other people think that too. They were in like a top 5 list or something.
I know, we've seen that earlier. They got put up. They got ahead of Magic Eden, which was awesome. You got to remember, they're borrowing, they're lending. They
not Magic Eden. It was they were ahead of Liquidium.
Yeah, Liquidium, yeah, because they're a swap now, right? And they're going to
Yeah.
be much more than that. We're hearing things from behind the scenes from these guys. They're building so much more, and we're just happy to be partnered with them. We think as being a partner with them is the better they do, the better we look, right? Because we found them early, so it's absolutely amazing. So without further ado, here we're going to bring in our guy Raul. Welcome back to the show, man. It's so glad to have you.
Hey guys, how are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
All good, all good. Thanks God it's Friday, I would say.
Yeah. Thank God it's Friday for sure. It's been a rough couple of weeks with Bitcoin's price action, but with builders like yourself that kind of keep your head down and building and focus on the goal and stuff. Actually, I think that's a great question. Like, how do you guys view like when the market's not so great? What's your perception as a builder?
Uh, so it's kind of always difficult because when it's a great time and everyone is in a FOMO mode, you as builder want to rush so much in order to build as much as you can, and is very very tiring. While instead in these let's say very volatile markets, when they arrive, you usually have more time for build, but then at the same time you have to look for people like the same ones that before were rushing are more cautious before using any DApp or interact with anything, like because they don't want to be following their emotions, right? And I would say that these times is very good for building, head down to the code, but at the same time, we are here building for the bull.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
You say you're building for the bull. I'm going to ask you, man, when bull, when bull market?
And the answer, you know it already, is soon.
I love that.
I love it.
Soon. That's the number one answer from devs, right? It's like soon. But obviously that's a little joke there. But could you talk about what you guys have been building? Obviously, we've let our audience know that you guys have been working on your runes decks and adding features to that and all types of stuff. But what else is new for Fluid's platform? And maybe you can talk about a little bit of maybe some stuff that's coming.
Yes, maybe I can show something.
Love
Let's
that.
see. So as you probably know, we are actually monitoring every swap that is happening in our decks, because we are going to do an airdrop of a fluid pass to every user. And if you want to do an airdrop such as this, you have to know who is buying, who is selling on your decks. And this is actually what's coming in the next days. Were finally able to monitor, and we are able to monitor in real time all the transactions, and these are all the ones that have happened since the start in our decks, and we are actually really happy because they are a lot. And not just this, every user is going to be able to monitor his history. So I will be able to see when I bought, when I sold, and what was the price. And in this way, I also will be able to check how many points score I got in my leaderboard. And also, not just this, one of the questions that people ask is, okay, but is there actually any activity on the decks? And the answer is yes. And now we will also be able to show it in our decks. When you have your, let me share also this screen. When you actually check in the pro mode of the decks, for instance, you can see the orders, right? You can see the market depth, who wants to buy, who wants to sell. In this case, it's dog. And there are quite good orders over here. But you also want to see the price swings, the buy, sell candles, and so on. And with this data that I showed you previously, we will be able finally to show it. So it's not only about having the perception of what's going on, my history, the activity on the DEX, but also have additional data for runes in the space in general. Because right now you have the data of buy and sell on Magic Eden, for instance, on Unisat, but the more platforms that you can have information, the better the strategy that you can make when you are trading runes.
So that's going to show that chart that you just showed us is going to show the price fluctuations.
Exactly, all the price swaps happening on Fluid tokens.
Gotcha. And then I saw below there was like a green and red. The green was a lot higher. So does that mean that there's more buy limit orders that are in, or okay,
exactly,
cool. So as of right now, technically, like I could just swap because there's limit orders on both sides.
Yes.
Okay.
You can swap or using dog. You can sell your dog. You can buy your dog, and according to the amount and the size of your order, you will get the best price for that order. But the cool thing is that you choose the size of your order. You don't have to pick a bulk.
And the platform will automatically propagate the best floor price for the amount that I want, right?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So that I think that's one thing that we really want to get this like comprehension out to the audience and community is that one of the big major pain points with trading runes is when a whale tries to brick the price of a token and they put, $1 million dog in so that could cost, I'm just using that as an example, that let's say that costs like 10 grand. Not the everyday user doesn't want that. So guess what? Now the price is going to go cheaper because the whale he's probably buying them up, honestly. But what Fluid's platform will do is actually break off parts of those bricks whenever someone else wants to buy, as long as the price matches what they're willing to pay, right? So, and that's done automatically in the back end, right?
Yeah, exactly. And this is the cool thing, that even if you are away, let's say, you don't have to split your runes before putting your limit order. It's done automatically in the same transaction. So the swap and the splitting of the runes happen in the same transaction. We combine the OP return stuff of the runes, and in this way it's also more efficient. You are not paying fees for two transactions, splitting and then selling. It's only one.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
Go ahead, Shizzy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, so for this leaderboard, you guys are gonna be dropping it probably soon here, but people only have until the 31st, correct, of July?
Yeah, correct.
So you guys
right
got to be
now,
using
actually,
this. Go.
yes. No, right now we already have a good number of users that have done limit orders, swaps, and so on. And but we want to increase our audience, of course, and there is still a possibility, and there is still time for it.
Yeah,
awesome. And the airdrop of the pass will be in August.
Yes. And it's going to be an airdrop, so it's not going to be a claiming. They are going to get it for free.
Oh, so no fees or nothing. We love it. We were just talking about fees. So with that being said, guys, there's going to be 1,000 people that get these, right? So how hard will that be? I mean, yes, Fluid's brand has grown pretty dramatically here in our space, but I think that as long as you're active on there, you have a good shot, right? So, all the transactions are being tracked. If you feel like you're not, just save your transaction IDs, and say, oh, I want to make sure it's being tracked. We trust Raul and his team. We know that they'll be tracked. So, get one of these passes. Just do some activity on the platform.
And this is really simple, guys. You just go to btc.fluidtokens.com. You hit the swap up here. You put in, right now I'm trading Bitcoin for dog. I'm trying to buy some dog right here. I think the price has dropped. I'm hitting the swap. It's going to trigger my wallet to pop up, and I probably have to sign in because I have not signed in today. So I'm just going to quickly sign into your wallet there. And what that's going to do is that's going to push your transaction is going to pop up. and it's going to tell you exactly what you're doing. So I'm giving $36 in Bitcoin. I'm receiving 6,250 dog, and I'm going to confirm. And I love the window that you guys have when it pops up. It's pretty cool. It kind of gives me that, all right, cool, like this. I love that. It's awesome. You know, it's I
The
feel like a loser
animation.
saying that out loud, but I like it. It's cool. It's a swap order successfully placed. And then how long will it take for me to actually get my dog that I just purchased?
So we have a calculated because it actually now requires the other party to sign, right? And the average time right now it's actually less than 1 hour. So unless you are really unlucky and the other party is on the opposite side of the world, so he's sleeping, it should happen before 1 hour. And
Yeah.
so maybe even before the end of our podcast here.
Yeah.
And uh, as you showed, it was interesting actually because you saw that the Xverse wallet show you exactly the amount of Bitcoin, the amount of runes that
Yep.
you will get, and so on. And most of users have asked, why haven't you integrated yet other wallets? And the answer is always the same. The issue is that with other wallets, it doesn't show you that preview. So you are kind of trusting that the transaction is correct. But in order to protect the users, we prefer to use wallets that show you exactly what's going on. So before signing, you know what's happening.
Yeah. I got a good question here. Someone's asking, can you swap runes for runes?
This is coming actually. Actually, it's very simple in the sense that a limit order for BTC and runes is very similar to a limit order to runes against runes. So in the only thing that we have to work on in that case is who is paying the Bitcoin fees, because no Bitcoin is
Yeah,
interacting
that's
or
true.
entering in the transaction, right? But one of the party can do it actually. So
I would imagine it would be the buyer, right? Since the buyer typically would pay fees, like in a traditional AMM, they would be the one that's paying the fees. Anyways, but good question, Pelpa, because I think that we'll see this kind of stuff added. I imagine, and it'll be more seamless down the road. But there's one thing I want to hit on, and I don't know, this person might get kind of upset here because it seems like maybe that's a little secret, but it looks like one of the things that you guys figured out was that some people are taking advantage of like an arbitrage type opportunity with you guys. Could you talk about that and what that looks like?
yes, exactly. So I think that it was last week or something that we saw that there was one user creating orders under like selling on FluidX for the higher floor than on Magic Eden. So he was actually buying and purchasing on Magic Eden for a lower floor and selling it higher. And you may wonder, but how it is possible? How was he able to sell for higher than the floor? Well, the answer is pretty easy. If smaller users can purchase, even if the price is higher, they can purchase small amounts and the amounts that they wish. Instead, on Magic Eden, if the price is low, you have to buy the bulk, and the bulk can cost a lot. So in this way, this user was able to sell at a higher price to many different users, and he was able to purchase the bulk at a lower price. So it's an interesting strategy.
Well, the thing is it's so crazy because like my family they come from like a wholesale distribution business background, right? So the way you just explained that, it almost sounds like this guy is going to Magic Eden, buying wholesale, and then coming to Fluid and selling retail, like to his retail customers. But yeah, guys, so it makes sense though, because that's one of the biggest problems with the swap meet style exchanges that we have over here because of Bitcoin's limitations. But Fluid allows you to buy 10 runes if you want, and so I think this opportunity I don't know how much longer it's going to last once people find out, but it seems like it's working pretty well for this guy.
Yeah, and I just share the Shizzy transaction. It's there, so it
Oh, wow.
went propagated. So I think that in 10 minutes it should be there. We can
Let's
see
go.
Oh,
the
so
Bitcoin here, the runes here, and here we have the runes back to the DEX, to the other party in this case. The runes going to Shizzy, and here are the payment of the Bitcoin and a small fee for tracking the transaction. So
look at that. What other show are you going to get this technical breakdown from the mempool of how the sats are distributed, the flow of the sats? What is this kind of approach called? Isn't it like there's there's like a name for this type of approach with the way you're using the UTXOs and stats and stuff, splitting them off like that, right? Or is that normal?
no, this is actually, let's say, this is actually quite normal. The only thing is that we are not using PSBT, simple PSBTs, because on PSBTs you can just sell, listing for selling, right?
Yeah.
Runes. Instead, here we are using the runestone message that I think it's over here. The complete runestone message that he's saying, hey, you know what? Here are the runes that we want to swap, but all the other runes that are in this transaction, send them back to the seller.
User.
In this case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Which also means that you can't get your PSBT hijacked and you can't get sniped.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
Anti-sniping on Fluid platform. So there you go.
Yeah.
If you want something cheap and you get it, then you got it.
What platform and what show just did a swap on layer 1 Bitcoin, basically decentralized, right? There was no third party involved. It was all decentralized, all permissionless, it on layer 1 Bitcoin. Like, this is huge. This isn't like any other swap that's out there where it's very centralized and everything's happening in the back end with liquidity pools and stuff like that, where they're holding everything for you. You guys hold no liquidity. You guys don't do any of that stuff. There's no rug, no mistakes that can happen. This is absolutely amazing, Raul. And I'm very excited to see where this goes in the future, man. Very excited. We have some questions here.
Yes.
To jump into. So Yasher earlier goes, when I want to do the swap, it does not show the exact rate ration of the token I want to swap with, and it does after I click the swap to show errors. So I think that happens when there's no limit orders, correct? I think he's trying to swap for something that there's no one has added a limit order to.
Yeah,
exactly. In that case, the user should, it actually appears a message and tells you like, hey, there is not enough liquidity, please create a limit order. And at that point, you are able to create the limit order, and it's the same thing as having the swap. However, you are the one creating and the listing. So someone is going to swap with you if the price, of course, is fine. And the only thing that we recommend always is to turn on the email notifications. So in this way, you can confirm the swap even from your mobile wallet, from Xverse wallet. You just can paste the link that you get in the email, and that's it.
Yeah. So this is as close as we're going to get, like with the Bitcoin limitations, not having smart contracts and stuff like that. So, which is much better than anything else that's out there. So it's like you guys just have to make sure that you do have that notification turned on so you can sell your token or someone's wanting to buy it, obviously. So that's the only thing that you got to make sure. But I think that like a project like Fluid and a team like Raul has with these devs and their experience with UTXO chains and stuff, once the opcodes come over here, it's going to be an easy transition for you guys, right? To kind of just upgrade.
Yeah. And actually, we can't wait for them. It will make our work so much easy.
So is that something that you feel confident that will come to Bitcoin, Opcat, or?
I can say that I hope for it. I really hope for it.
You're praying every day.
Yeah. And but it's no, there are already some tutorials and on Signet, I guess that you can already use OPCat. So the number of developers that are let's say that are expert on this field are increasing. So it's only a matter of just turning on and boom, you have new applications already ready, just waiting for that new OP codes to run.
That's so crazy. It's like they seem pretty confident then, if they're building an application that is going to use
Exactly.
opcat. So that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday alone, you had Adam Back, throw his name into the hat saying, I want OpCap, because he has a layer 2, which is called, I think, liquidity or liquid, that he wants to use OpCap with as well, because liquid is kind of like a centralized version of Bitcoin Cat, or was it Bitcoin Lightning? So, I mean, you got guys like Adam Back now, guys way back in the day. One of the people that I personally think is Satoshi, or one of the 3 people I think are Satoshi. So I think this is huge. Maxi's listed to Adam Back, and I think this does get turned on.
Yeah. We shall see. Well, if it does, it's just going to enhance like platforms like Fluid, because I think that you guys have already experienced, having these computational functionality on Cardano, and so just having that added to Bitcoin is going to just be such a great thing for you guys. You're just going to be able to move a lot quicker with different things. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for what you guys have right now. Right. So that's really awesome. We do have a question though. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I found the question too, but I'll head to mine next.
Gotcha. Okay, so Yashir is asking, is there a way that they can see orders of people who want to buy and those who want to sell, so they can just adjust the Bitcoin or Rune accordingly?
Yes. Let me share here. So when you are on Fluid tokens, you can switch from the Pro mode and the Basic mode. So easy here, Pro here. And if it's Pro, you can see all the limit orders here. They are sorted by age. And so you can see exactly what price other users have put, and also what amount of runes they have listed. So you can track everything.
That's awesome. So Yashir, go to Pro mode, and then you'll be able to see it. But that's awesome. I love that.
Could you show that one more time? How to get the Pro? I can do it mine.
Okay.
Let's grab mine. So it's so simple, man. It's just this is the decks that I showed you guys. It's just so simple. Pop right there, and you get the Pro mode. So super easy, super simple, and you can kind of see exactly what's going on. All right. I did see a question. I don't know if this is a question now that I read it again, or if it's just a dude.
Well, it says question.
This is question, but he says, I also have a question for Raul from Fluid. Do they have plans to rename themselves somewhat, at least the URL, to make it more user-friendly to normies, shorter the name? So right now you guys are btc.fluidtokens.com. Is there any plans to shorten the name at all?
Actually, he's not the first user to ask for that, and we are actually thinking for it. We don't want to spoiler, because as soon as we spoiler, someone is going to get the domain. And
yes. So short answer, yes.
Yeah.
Right. Good question, Joko. Thank you so much for your question today. Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, I think that's it in regards to Fluid. But if Raul, if you want to hang out a little bit, we'll go through the questions, or we'll just run through these really quick. Maybe there is a couple in here. So just gonna hit on these with the Ordinal After Hour to see. Jay Clark says we are still in a recession. Have you seen inflation, debt up, grocery prices up? So I know you hit this on the roll call, but do you feel like we're in a recession?
No, not at all. I don't think so. I think we will enter one in the back end of the cycle. I think that's why we get to the next bear market. I think we'll be in a deep recession, but I think for the next year, 15 months, I think we're going to be in this era of inflation again and just reckless spending. But that's going to end up very badly. But I think we have 15 months to that.
Yeah, and things could change. I mean, sometimes things have to get worse before they can get better. But it depends on, what happens here in the next 4 years.
What about you, Raul? Do you think we're in a worldwide recession?
No, not yet. I think not yet. But of course, inflation has been slowly in the last months growing and touching our homes, knocking at our door. But no, not yet. I think that we still haven't experienced a recession as at least what the real recession was back in those days.
Yeah.
I just feel like we're not gonna see anything like the Great Depression or anything like that, or recession is not depression. I know that, but I just feel like it's not gonna be that like that. And that if it was, it would have happened already, because like COVID was 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
3 years ago, yeah. So 4 years ago, really. But anyways, all right. Danny says 50K bottom. I agree with you, man. I think we hit the I don't think it doesn't even get there, but I think if it did, that would be the bottom, in my opinion. That's right at that 30% drawdown there. Braggy says, good morning, homies. This person also said that they commented and we didn't get to them. So sorry about that. We missed it, I think in the roll call possibly, but we will get you next time for sure. No says, if Germany can do this by selling, does this set the stage for BlackRock to make attempts at market manipulation in the future? That was already set, like whenever they decided they want to enter the space, right? But I don't think it's going to be like what we think, right? So I would look at gold, because they've had access to the gold ETF since 2004. So I don't know. That's my opinion. What do you think, Raul? Do you think like large institutions like BlackRock will manipulate Bitcoin price?
I think not now. They probably are doing some experiments, like testing a bit the market. They have done it already in the past. I think that what was it? I don't remember. Maybe I don't know if you guys remember the tweet from the intern that what was the Bitcoin ETF, something like that. That there was.
I think that was the SEC. I think that was the SEC intern. Yeah.
The tweet that was posted and deleted, and oh my God, just for one single tweet have all that power. So I think that if they want, they could. So they are not doing it yet. Let's hope that they keep it like this, and let's hope that Germany stops and hey, come on. We need more German guys, diamond hands.
Yeah. Well, their government, right? They're smarter than that. But we'll see what happens. But you know what's crazy? I don't know if you guys know, but BlackRock has like trading software that they use. I think it's called like is it like Alibaba or something crazy?
No, it's
like
not
that.
Alibaba.
It's Ali something though. Anyways, and so that software is like crazy, like obviously very accurate, good, and stuff like that. So I think more than anything for them in the beginning of this ETF run up, it's going to just be, they're going to be a part of Bitcoin's like rise up, and then it will like chill out like gold eventually did. I don't know. Shizzy, you probably have a different opinion about that.
Yeah, I think if they wanted to drop the price, if they want to short it, they could come out and say, we're giving guidance that, we think Bitcoin's overbought, right? So you see companies like this all the time. You see Goldman Sachs come out like, twice a week, and they say, hey, we think that Amazon is oversold or overbought. And it's just something they do in like a newsletter. So you can see BlackRock doing something like that with gold or with Bitcoin in the future for sure. I mean, if all they got to do is short it and tell people they're shorting, and then the price drops. So it's like a cheat code for them. But I think right now, I don't see that. I think they're too bullish on Bitcoin right now. I think they're just accumulating, especially right now. I wouldn't be shocked by at 4 o'clock today if it comes out that BlackRock has bought their own ETF again.
Yeah. One thing I was thinking about too is that they have to convince their clients, probably not too much because their big clients trust them a lot, right? But convince them into getting into the Bitcoin ETF earlier this year. And so that's what makes me think that like 50,000 would be the absolute lowest, right? Because like when you start to freak out like these large clients, Bitcoin's at like 35,000, and at that point it's like, no matter if you're like, just chill, this is part of the plan. Well, that's not something they deal with in traditional TradFi, right? They're not like, oh, you're telling me to hold Apple. You told me that Apple's going to go down this much and stuff like that. Yeah. And so I think that like, this is all speculation, of course, but like BlackRock probably would, not want Bitcoin to get to a certain dip amount, I would think, because of their clients. Let's see. All right. LSR asks, do you see any value buys in the market right now? We'll start with you, Shizzy.
Yeah, everything. I mean, there's not one thing I'm not considering buying. The only problem is I don't have enough liquidity. I mean, I want to get more track. I want to get more. I would love to get more pizza. I still think at $4 it's a buy. I would love to get. There's. I mean, I can go on for days here. Banked, RSM. There's so many. I think everything is on sale right now. It's like walking into Walmart and everything's red tagged. You're like, what did I even come here for? You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's like I'm very bullish on this ecosystem and everything in it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I agree with you on that, but that's obviously like a very broad type of mentality to go into something. Is there anything on top of that, like strategic wise, that because you can't just buy everything up, right? Like,
Yeah. So right now I'm buying like the DeFi ecosystems. Like I think memes are going to do their thing, but I think eventually utility does a lot better. So right now infrastructure, I'm buying track, I'm buying Ghosty, I'm buying RSM, which is another DeFi platform that just popped up, and I think it's going to do really, really well. Buying banked right now. I'm looking for a price to get in that. So I'm buying utility. Utility is what I'm buying. I'm kind of leaving the memes. I have a stack of memes that I'm holding. But right now, I think the utility is very on sale, and I think when time comes, that's going to be an explosion. Bitcoin utility.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. And look, you don't have to have a ton of capital because, like, even people that usually have like a good flow of capital might not have much right now because they're already locked up in assets. So if you're looking just to buy little pieces of runes, where would you do that? Fluid tokens. I'm like plugging this perfectly in there, but because you don't have to have tons of capital for that. But Raul, what about you? You don't have to talk about any specific projects or anything, but do you agree with Shizzy that like we will be moving more towards utility, or do you feel like memes will still be like the strongest for a while?
I think that they both have their purposes. Like I haven't seen anything capable of onboarding users like meme coins. It's incredible. Like I think that if you go to talk with your friends that maybe are not so blockchain savvy, they have heard at least one time about a meme coin, at least one, in different chains, and instead for the long term and vision, utility is always in my opinion, one of the safest investment in this case. You cannot expect the crazy FOMO that can have a meme coin, for instance, but there is the team experience usually over there that can provide a long run for that.
Yeah, 100%. Memes are great for onboarding, man. Like a lot of people will laugh at me like Dogecoin is so stupid, but you know what the next one is? You know what I mean? They'll be like, you know what the next Doge is though? Because so that's a great point there.
Real quick on that, for people that don't know, Fluid has a token. It is a Cardano token right now, and you can buy it on MEXC. I've been doing this as not financial advice whatsoever. Not telling you guys to go buy this. I'm saying this what I'm doing personally. This token is 1-to-1 backed with the rune eventually. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. So this is interesting because usually when you create a rune, then you want somehow to list it on a centralized exchange, okay? And in this case, it's going to be the opposite. So you will be able to buy on MEXC in this case, and then move it to Bitcoin and trade over Bitcoin, Cardano, or MEXC.
Yep.
Awesome.
So not only do you get exposure to runes holding this, but you also get exposure to Cardano. So say something happens, Cardano blows up, your Fluid token is going to go up too. Your rune Fluid token is going to go up too. So to me, it's the best of both worlds. Like I like to I like to have a little exposure to different things, and Fluid token right now, and it seems like a lot of Cardano builders are coming to Ordinals, which is amazing. So you're going to see more and more of this. And I just want to tell you guys, it's FLDT. It's on MEXC right now, and you can also get it on Cardano if you are fluent over there as well. But definitely something that I've been buying as well.
Yep. All right. Crypto Hot News says, don't panic, guys. Everything's about psychology. Don't forget that. Very true. So be strong-minded. Stay the course if you've been here. That doesn't mean go buy everything with all your money, your rent money and stuff. That's not what we're saying. Be smart, right? But the one thing I can say is stay engaged every day. Learn every day. Something, no matter what the market condition is. That's the most important thing, in my opinion. What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. It's all psychology. It's just one of those things where they're trying to get your Bitcoin cheap. The big players, the big whales, this stuff happens because they dump, and they do this. They dump to buy back cheaper, and they want to get more Bitcoin for the same dollars that they get out. So it's just, you're 100% right. Cotton News, 100% right.
Yeah. And No follows up with that statement and says, if you're watching, I'm locking the door with you in it. Stay in the damn car. So if you guys don't know, that's a little bit of an inside joke within the Chinese community, because what they say is stay in the damn car, which means hodl. So don't give up now is basically that.
And that came from our guy Block. He was over in WeChat, and he kept hearing people say, "Stay in the car, stay in the car." And I had no idea what it meant, but it means, it basically means their version of hodl. Stay in the car.
Yeah, don't get out the car. The car's about to take off. That's basically
The
what
car
they're
got three
saying.
wheels.
Yeah.
But the question is, who is driving?
Yeah, very true. Who's driving? Where's it taking me?
Nakamoto.
Where's it taking me? I don't want it to take me south, because I don't want to go south. Take me north. All right, here we go. Jesus says, I'm holding my pizza. Yes, so am I. So am I. Pizza's been in the spotlight here. Let's see what else is there. Mr. Sheedy says, what's your opinion on the max market cap for pizza this cycle? Shizzy?
Market cap for pizza. I think pizza can hit $1 billion within the next 6 months, and maybe 5 billion to 8 billion next year. I think everything's going to get really explosive here, and if it gets to Binance like we think it does, because Binance has become an investor into Unisat, and that's kind of what everyone's hinting to. But you could potentially see it beating out Ordi for the #1 spot, and maybe hitting 8 billion in a very, very happy world, right? That would be kind of like the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, $1 billion.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Raul. Obviously, you guys are focused on the Rune Fungible Token Standard, which UTXO model token makes it easier because it moves like Bitcoin and stuff. But let's say that the BRC20 market blows up again and gets really popular, and OpCat is added to, or let's just say smart contracts are added to Bitcoin, right? A simple smart contract type of method or whatever. Would that computational functionality allow you to wrap that transfer inscription function in one transaction? Do you think that would be possible with a smart contract?
I think that at that point, maybe not really possible, but easier, way easier. Do multiple stuff in the same transaction, yes. And I also think that what BRC20, the second version that should be coming sometime soon, that also will improve a lot better the experience for BRC20 tokens. So I'm really curious. We are actually studying what are they proposing, because if it's something cool that can be add value to the platform and to the user experience, why not integrate it?
Yeah, for sure. Because having those solutions on Fluid would be great, right? Even if it's multiple meta protocols. But yeah, so that's definitely interesting. So Mr. Cheedy, Shizzy says all the way up to possibly 8 billion, which is crazy. I think that's probably where Bitcoin would be at 750K, I imagine. Yeah, 100%. So so he's kind of lining that up. I'm on board with him in terms of the $1 billion mark. I do think that it could get there. The biggest part of pizza that people aren't realizing is that it has such a strong meme energy to it, and so I think that it has that opportunity to get there. But let's see.
Okay, that's it, right? I don't see much more.
Yeah. Well, hold on. There's one more, 2 more questions real quick. But Crypto Hot News says, do you guys do you really believe Binance will ever list DOG? What do you think?
So someone's going to have to give up some dog. You're going to need a community funded thing. I think Leonidas would have to put together like, 20, 30, 40 people to kind of, because Binance doesn't list, and people are knocking on Binance door to give them free tokens for them to list it. That's what people don't understand. They just think one day Binance is like, hey, we'll list your token. It doesn't work that way. You have to stand in line with a bunch of tokens and give them the Binance for free, and then Binance takes your tokens and sells them. That's a big part of how these big exchanges make money. They don't really make money on the fees. I mean, obviously the fees every single day, but in the bear markets, it's just listing tokens, and that's why they've just been able to hang on over the last couple of years, is because people give them free tokens and they sell those tokens on the market. They create their own LP pools with them. So unless somebody comes up with a lot of dog and gives them the Binance, it's kind of the only way.
Yeah, so huge dog wells need to do that, I guess. And Pelpa, thanks for the help here. He says Aladdin. That's the software that BlackRock uses.
Okay.
Yep. I need to get a copy of that. I need to get a copy of that. And then maybe I'll be a billionaire next week. Okay. Last question here is from Crypto Hot News. When will we be making our first live on TikTok?
So right now we're at 883 followers over there. We need to get to 1,000. Once we get to 1,000, we'll be able to stream live at the same time as YouTube. So that's something we've been working on, kind of pushing that as well. So we're growing. So right now we're growing our Twitch channel. We're growing our TikTok channel. We're growing our Instagram channel as well. And also, you guys know we're on Spotify, we're on X, and we're on YouTube. So if you guys want more places for us to stream, so we'll get that going for you guys. Yeah. We want to be on multi channels, just how Raul is on multi chains here.
Yep, for sure. And we got 297 people. So go to TikTok, search Ordinal Revolution, and follow us so we can start live streaming, because we'd love to start live streaming there as well. But we need it to all come from our platform here to make it just simplified. But yeah, so appreciate all the questions, guys. 300 people in here on a Friday, right after July 4th. It was bloody for Bitcoin. You guys are going to make it. You guys are showing up every day, and what we preach is consistency. And the last, I want to give the last, part of the stage here to Raul. If you have any last things to maybe say to the audience here about Fluid.
No, well, first of all, I just followed you on TikTok, well, guys, if you would like to know more about Fluid and have a question, well, feel free to test our platform, join our Discord. On our Twitter account, you can find the linking tree with all the links. And you can even ask questions on our Twitter comments, and we will make sure to answer. And feel free, we are here and building. So we are here for you.
Awesome.
I love it.
And will you guys be in Nashville?
Yes.
So we will see you there and meet you. And you guys that are coming to Nashville, hopefully you guys get to meet Raul and us as well. So that's going to be very fun. But we appreciate you, Raul. Thank you, and try to enjoy your weekend. I know you're busy working all the time.
Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.
All right. See you later.
Absolutely amazing as always, man. We appreciate the time that builders give us, guys. That's something you're only going to get from Ordinal Revolution. You're going to get builders to come on our show he was here for going on 45 minutes, right? So absolutely amazing. We appreciate Raul. We appreciate our partnership with them. And if you guys wouldn't mind, just go make a swap. And what that's going to do, it's going to give you the pass. And I think that pass is going to go for hundreds of dollars. Just my opinion, not financial advice, but it's free. You use a damn swap. You swap some dog. You try to get in the top 1,000, which I think is going to be pretty easy right now because it's very quiet here. There's not a lot of users, so you'll get this pass basically for free for making a swap. Go swap some dog like I did today, and there's other stuff there as well. You can check that out. And then so big fans of Raul right there. So
yep. And guys, make sure to check out our other partners as well. Ordinal Hive. They're building on Merlin chain, the blur of Bitcoin, as well as Bitcoin's native chain as well, native layer. Fluid. You guys just saw Raul and how amazing they are. Super excited for the future of Fluid. And then VDEX as well on Merlin Chain, the Bitcoin Layer 1 asset DEX, and then Traverse Labs are #1 solution for Bitcoin Layer 1 asset protection.
100%. And guys, if you guys wouldn't mind, go and check out ordinalrevolution.com. Every time you guys go to the site, it helps us. We're trying to build our site platform as well. We're building everywhere, guys. If you don't know, we want to be the media company of all media companies for the crypto industry, and we want to be the biggest platform on Ordinals for sure. But guys, go check out some of the best articles here. And also, if you know someone who's new, send them our website, and they can kind of get really caught up really quickly. We have articles on just about everything. So just hit the load more button. You can get all the articles there. And also, if you're going to Bitcoin Nashville, like Raul is, like I am, like Yagobi is, we have a 21% off coupon here. Just click the coupon, and you guys will get 21% off if you pay in Bitcoin. So definitely check that out. And also, if you're going to Nashville, make sure you guys are rocking some of the best gear. We have some of the best gear on our site. You can check it out here. And we have hats, we have school bags, we have everything you can possibly need here. So definitely check that out. If you're going there, make sure you're wearing some type of Ordinals gear. Let's show the maxis that we are here to stay, man. Let's see some frogs everywhere. Let's see snow monkeys everywhere. Let's see it. I can't wait for Nashville. It's gonna be exciting. And that's our show, guys. We appreciate you guys. And just so you know, we're live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Europe. So check us out all week, guys. We do not miss a day. We were here streaming live yesterday on 4th of July. And I think that's everything, right?
That's it all. That's all. I can't even talk. Peace.
We OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the steel. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.